when we introduced the project to the community, many of the leaders, most especially the politicians, they were not aware of, they had no information about violent extremism, its causes, the impacts, and actually they were thinking of domestic violence by not violent extremism. Many of our colleagues and our staff we are working with, they also had little information about the project and even the violent extremism itself. But now, because when we started it, some of them were thinking now we are going to talk about labels, violence, terrorism, and what. So they were like fearing, how are we going to explain this in the community? How are you going to gather leaders and start explaining violence and maybe terrorism and all those issues? So during the project implementation, we had a very big change. First, change in mindset, attitude of the implementers themselves. So they appreciated the topic after knowing what it means. When it comes to the community, they also had the same idea of violent extremism. They were thinking about talking of terrorism and the other issues, the ADFs and so many things. So they were thinking that this can be maybe talked about by the security, police, UPDF, not civilians. So, but after training them and after talking to them, so they also appreciated, and now they started thinking that no, the violent extremism can be even taught by the civilian, not the security guys, not the police, not the UPDF. And in Masaka, we are even a hot spot when it comes to violent extremism because we have so many returnees. We had incidents of terrorism in Masaka. We had the so-called Bijambia, which happened in Masaka in 2020-21. So everybody was fearing of talking about violent extremism or terrorism in Masaka. But after engaging the leaders, the community, the opinion leaders in the community, so now the community has changed because of the project. We worked with religious institutions, government officials, security agencies, cultural institutions. So we've been involving almost all the stakeholders within our area.
As the head of the civic engagement in this area, in Sazabudu, which covers 29 sub-counties, I had to join and to know what was taking place.
Youths were brought on board who are newly married to know their roles and their responsibilities at home and how these roles, if not well played very well, as each party may turn out to be the effects of violent extremism.
As a youth leader, I participated in 2 categories. One, as a participant who was trained, educated and sensitized on issues concerning building peaceful families.
Amakabo galagajjalira nago gakulagajjalira. Bw'ofaayo buli lunaku omuntu ateekwa okumanya abantu be. Number 1, bwe basiibye, bwe balidde ne bwe basuze. Si nsonga mwana gwe olaba nti mwana agenza akula, yeetaaga nnyo okumuteekako amaaso. Obubaka obutubuwadde abantu, kikyamu okuleka amaka ago n'okukasuulirira. Bingi biyinza okukolebwa, abantu bangi ababa tutte mu bikolwa ebitali bituufu, oba oliawo olw'obusente obutono, olw'ebisuubizo, bw'oba tofuddeeyo nnyo, ebikolwa eby'obukambwe n'obutujjumu ebiva.
Our objective here is to ensure that the families are safe and we ensure that we serve the best interests of the child in whatever we do. We ensure that wherever we go to the community, we tell them that violent extremism is still there. And we tell them the causes of violent extremism. And we also discourage them from joining such groups. And also encourage them to work very hard, because we believe that when you are so very idle, then somebody can tempt you to do something which is dubious.
I could handle issues depending on the news I hear, depending on the movies, depending on what we see outside. But when we are trained, now we are using dialogues. Every when we get a platform, as a youth leader, I normally talk about how youth can minimize violences. And I could not do it better if I did not get information from the workshop and the training that was given to us.
After the training, these people have also started to go in their different areas of operations. For example, the religious leaders now are using the churches and mosques also to continue sensitizing the communities about violent extremism.
Now, like Catholics, we have been invited to see how we can add values and bring information that is important to minimize the challenges that are due to violences.
Gathering nyingi, tubadde ekyazanga, tubadde Rwankoni mu Kyotera, twafunayo gatherings nyingi, tubakumire buli kingo nyingi, n'ezimu tuzikendeezaako naye nga zikyatambulira ddala era tukyenyumiririzaamu.
Our target was involving those key stakeholders because we were aware that after the end of the project, these people will continue with the message.
I would ask and recommend for further trainings, for further fundings, so that Masaka City NGO Forum proceeds to different corners and even can go beyond Masaka City. As
Masaka City NGO Forum, on behalf of my team, I would like to thank Uganda Muslim Youth Development Forum, Kofi Annan Foundation, European Union, and all other stakeholders and agencies. Thank you very much. We are very happy about the sub-granting. We only request that the project should continue